Coach Patrick Mark for the photo as well.
All right. Thank you for that introduction. Good evening, Edinboro University administration, coaches, athletes, family, and friends, and fellow inductees. Today is one of the proudest moments of my life. Edinboro University, the place where time seems to stand still, right? I love this place. I'd like to start off by trying to figure out how the hell I'm up here. I mean, who gives a punter Hall of Fame recognition? There have been so many amazing athletes that have graced Edinboro with their talents. You guys must have been bored and said, hell, let's give the punter a shot. Now, I do believe I'm the only punter with 4 personal fouls, 1 for taunting and 3 for late hits. That's got to be worth something, right? When hearing I'd be inducted to the Edinboro University Hall of Fame, I started looking back to discover how I got up here. And what I figured out, if it wasn't for family, friends, coaches, and teammates, I would not be up here today. Let's start off with the most important, which is family. My mother, Phyllis McNicholas, is the most amazing and inspiring woman I've ever known. My mom had 3 boys. I was lucky number 2. And then she wanted a girl for her 4th baby, or she wanted a 4th child. And her 4th baby ended up being 4 babies. She had quadruplets. That's what she said. My strength to push through comes from you. Raising the 7 of us, you push through constantly. You make all of us feel so loved and proud. You have taught me more about life than you could ever imagine. Your strength, your unwavering commitment to life is a beautiful thing. You are my role model. Kevin McNicholas Jr., my dad. You are the most unathletic father figure in the world. Although you were not a great athlete, you were the most energetic. My father is the loudest fan I've ever had. He taught me what support looks like. My father taught me that if you want anything, you have to put in the work. Supporting a family of 9 is not an easy task, but you made that hard work look easy. You taught me how to be a man. You are my role model. As an athlete, there are good days and there are bad days. My parents taught me to focus, push through, turn the page. They taught me to win because that's all they do in life. They win. It's not too often the son gets to do this, but Mom and Dad, can you stand up, please? Without the 2 of you, I'm not up here. I love you. Kevin III, my older brother, arch rival and fiercest competitor growing up. Brendan, the best kicker in the family. Lindsay, the loudest and most dramatic athlete. Ryan, the guy who argued until he won. Bryn, the quiet but calculated athlete. And my super fan Connor, who's better at sports than he realizes. My brothers and my sisters. Thank you guys for shagging balls for pay that I believe I still owe you. Thank you for coming to my games and supporting me for long travel. But most of all, thank you for showing me what being competitive looks like. Whether it was WWF in the living room, baseball, football, basketball, in the yard, we competed. Now with competition, there are consequences. There were injuries and trips to the emergency room that we'll never forget. But that competitiveness transferred to the field of play, and I love to compete because of all of you. You were all so important to me, and I love each and every one of you. Without you, I'm not up here. Coaches, I've had so many inspirational and dedicated coaches over the years, from early on in starting athletics all the way to the NFL with the New York Jets. I've been blessed with great coaching. I actually didn't start playing football until my junior year of high school, and I was greeted by a high school football coach who welcomed me with open arms. His name is Pat McKenna. He's also an Edinboro University alumnus. Thank you, Pat, for giving me a shot. I actually got beat out my junior year of high school as a punter, which I still hold a grudge to my high school coach to this point. But he proved to me what earning your spot looks like. And coach, without you, I'm not up here. Thanks for letting me run around, play receiver and defensive back in soccer cleats. That was awesome. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for being here. The technique of kicking and punting is very similar to a golf swing. I'm terrible at golf, but for some reason I could kick. That technique was taught to me by Coach Pierce. Hours and hours of drills, film, studying the craft is what made me the kicker I am, and that's because of you, Coach Pierce. Success isn't given, it's earned. We work for that success together. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your friendship. Without it, I would not be up here. Getting recruited is fun, right? Hearing the sales pitches of all the coaches and why you should attend their schools. The letters, the phone calls are all a part of the process. Well, without Coach Jim Henson, I'm not up here. Coach Henson attended my basketball games, my practices, hung out afterwards, even made me miss a bus on the way home from a game once. But what I loved about Coach Henson was his sincerity. And he always told me the truth and his integrity of his word. No promises, no gimmicks. What you see is what you get. I'll never forget the off season before my senior year at Edinboro. Coach Henson walked into the weight room while the team was working out and said to me, every rep you take, think about that opportunity to play in the NFL. Push yourself further. Coach, thank you for getting me to Edinboro University. Thank you for getting me up here. Coach Wayne Bradford, where do I start? They say the defensive coordinator's best friend should be their punter. Well, depending on the day, sometimes it was and sometimes it wasn't. Coach Bradford taught me to trust my teammates in front of me. He also taught me that a touchback is not as good as pinning the ball inside the 10. Sometimes he used a lot of interesting words to do that. Thank you, Coach, for your friendship and your continued support. Without you, I'm not up here. Coach Scott Browning, a great coach and a great man. Coach Browning would look at me in the field goal meetings and say, head down, kick it through, and over because he had nothing else to teach me about kicking. But he believed in me, and that's all that mattered. Coach Browning taught me flat backing it, playing full speed, and giving your best. Without Coach Browning, I'm not up here. My Edinboro University head coach, Lou Tepper, called the punt the most important play the first day that I ever met him, and it was love at first sight. Coach Tepper was a man who taught me discipline and he taught me accountability. He was a man feared and loved at the exact same time. He showed me that tough love, and for that I'm forever grateful. Upon being signed as a free agent by the NFL, he told me to buy a motorhome because life of a kicker and punter could be a journey from place to place. Coach Tepp helped me get noticed and earn the opportunity for an NFL contract. Coach Tepp loved football, and I truly appreciate what he taught me both on and off the field. Without Coach Tepper, I'm not up here. The behind-the-scenes people that I call coaches still to this day. Gary Hanna for keeping me upright with the back challenges I had. Thank you. Coach Amy Burrell for taking the time to stretch someone who hates to stretch. Thank you. Coach Todd J for always having that winning attitude. Coach Dave Hyam for your character and your never-ending drive to help Edinboro football. Coach Bruce Baumgartner, there was no one I talked to on the sidelines more than Bruce. Thank you for those conversations, but more importantly, thank you for your continued support for Edinboro Athletics. Without all of you guys, I'm not up here. Last but certainly not least, my teammates. There are so many of you who I won't be able to mention, but without every single one of you, I'm not up here. Edinboro University has given me teammates and people in my life that will last the rest of my life. Edinboro athletes are the people sitting next to you. You're going to be, best of men in their wedding. You're going to be maid of honors. They'll be godparents to your kids. The friends we create here will last forever, which is a beautiful thing. You'll be in Pittsburgh hanging out with some teammates, and John's Pizza sounds so good that you say, screw it. Yeah. I can make a 2-hour drive because that's what you're supposed to do. I realize good teammates hold you accountable and push you. I had plenty of both from my amazing brothers. People like Dave Holton, Chris Wiggins, Jack Davis, Dave Smith, Matt and Mike Jackback, Steve Tryon, Greg Tarbell, Josh Geis, Paulie Miko, Jason Oman, CJ Trevisano, Greg McCann, Jay Rich, Joe Belvoda, Anthony Peluso, Justin Lipscomb, Justin Bouch, Jeff Heil, Pat Bachman, Chris Kane, Bernard Henry, Alonzo Roebuck, and the list of teammates go on, and there's more in here that I just got to see for the first time in a long time, so I love you guys are here too. Without all of you guys, I'm not up here. I love you guys. The reason I'm up here is because of all the people I surrounded myself with. I realize that we are elevated by the people who love us, guide us, push us, inspire us, and trust us. Now, my playing days have long since been over, but I've noticed my success in life since leaving Edinboro University has been about the same thing, surrounding yourself with the right people. As I close out this proud moment, I want to say how honored I am for this. I bleed red and white. I love this special place called Edinboro University. It's more than a place to get a degree. It's more than a place to play sports. Edinboro University changed the landscape of my life forever because I was surrounded with the right people. Thank you for being the people I needed to surround myself with. Thank you for this special moment. And thank you, God, for Edinboro University. Go Borough. Thank you.